Hi. If you're here, I believe that you're here for a reason. Either something that you read or saw from me resonated with you and you wanted to know more. So thank you for being here. My name is Jessica Graham Robinson. And if you're here, you're seeing this on sacredspacehealingarts.com. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the fact that oftentimes we look back in our lives to some other time as ideal, as the good old days, right? So you probably have a time that you can think of. Maybe it was your days in college or your days in high school or early adulthood where we think, oh, I had so much more time back then. I didn't weigh this much. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I used to travel more. I used to do those things that inspired me, right? I'm sure you can identify with this because it's something that we all deal with. And so I want to kind of demystify these good old days for you and for everyone to say that if right now you're in a pattern in your life that you're not particularly happy about, if you're in a pattern in your life where you're feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling like you don't get to do those things that you love anymore because there's no time for them, or you feel like just you're not comfortable in your body anymore, you're not, what you see in the mirror isn't what you want to be seeing, and maybe your relationships aren't what you wanted them to be. Maybe the closeness or the meaning in your life or relationships just isn't what you were hoping for, and you find yourself a little stuck, feeling like this isn't where I want to be. So we call that, there's a gap oftentimes between where we are in our lives and where we want to be. And this isn't a new concept, and it's not something that's just happening to you in your life. It happens all the time, and it's not a bad thing, because when we recognize the gap, that shows us there's discord, there's dissonance in where we are and where we want to be, and that gives us the information and the motivation to want to change things. And so that's a good thing. That's not something to be ashamed of, for instance. So admitting that you want things to be different is kind of the first step. But I wanted to talk about the good old days, right? Going back to that idea of when you think of this time in your life that was better, right? So this may be a new concept, but the idea of the path you're on or the trajectory that you were on. So wherever you were, even if you were 20 pounds lighter, the path that you were on got you to where you are right now. So oftentimes what we look at as those good old days is not what we think, right? It's just that life hasn't caught up to you yet. So the habits that you had that weren't serving you then had not had time to create the snowball effect that you see now. So it's not that things were better then necessarily. It's that the consequences hadn't built up to where they are now. So if you're experiencing overwhelm or autoimmune disease, it's because of the compound effect over time, oftentimes. And so rather than looking backward with regret and thinking, oh, why can't I have that time back, which will never happen, instead, I'm here to encourage you to look toward the future, to look for what you want. Where is the gap, and what do you want to be? What's on the other side of the gap? If you were to be able to bridge where you are and where you want to be, what's over there? To get clear on that, because that's what I help people do, is actually get there, get to the other side. So if you're here, you're interested, look around, read a little bit about this course, Awake and radiant living. And I named it on purpose because I want to help people wake up to the potential that they have to change, to be happy, to be healthy, inside and out, right here and right now. If you could be living a radiant life, don't beat yourself up because you're not and you feel like you should know how. It's a process and you could get there, but I'm here to help you get there a lot faster and a lot easier. So if this interests you at all, if you're up for the challenge of really looking at your stuff and owning up to the ways that you get in the way of your own happiness and the patterns that you've carved out consciously or unconsciously over the years that have gotten you to where you are, if you really want to look at this stuff with me, that's where I'm at. That's the work that I want to do. I want to help you get there, and I know that I can. So if you are interested and you want to do the work, click the link. There's several links on this page that all take you to schedule a wellness discovery session with me. And this is a time where we can sit down. It doesn't take a long time. It's only about 30 minutes. And we sit down and talk over the phone or over video and really look at where you are, where you've been, where the pain points are in your life, and what needs to shift mentally, physically, from your mindset, emotionally, everything, all of the layers of you getting to a place where you're living a radiant life. So if that interests you, then I'm talking to you, and you need to click the link. All right. Namaste. I look forward to working with you, and I'm glad you landed here.